Sequencing emotion in a delicate formation. Numerology's wisdom is a language of vibration. Welcome to the Numerology Hour. Host Kelly Brickle is a numerologist, psychic medium, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether it's working with spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, precision and heart always enters the equation. Now, here is your host of the Numerology Hour, Kelly Brickle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Numerology Hour. I'm Kelly Brickle. It's great to see you. I hopped on a little bit later today, but we did it. And let's dive in. We're going to be going into readings in a little bit, and we're just going to be talking about numbers. So if you've had any experiences with repeating numbers or seeing things as a message or trying to understand numerology for yourself, this is the place to do it. Hello, B. Hello, Marijuana or Marijuana. I don't know how to say your name, but gosh, hello. Hello, Jesse. Hello. Thank you for everybody for coming on in. I know that we are in a world year of 8, and we are in a world month of 5. And so that means everybody experiences those themes. Now, how that affects you is more individualized based on your chart. And you're going to have your own yearly cycle and your own monthly cycle. And that's what's so interesting, because with astrology and numerology, people who do forecasts from month to month, largely they're looking at the year's forecast, and then they'll be, if you're an Aries, if you're a Pisces, this is going to happen this month. And it's the same with numerology. If you're life path 1 or if you're an attitude 5, this is going to happen this month because of these reasons. So it gets very personalized, and I encourage people to continue to learn about their chart and to continue to study their birth dates, because when it comes to certain things in astrology, it gets very technical, and when it comes to certain things in numerology, it gets very technical. But you can look at your birth dates. You can look at the simple numbers of your birth date and learn so much and have such an upper hand with just that in your corner. So with being in a world month of 5, that means that people will experience a lot of speed in the things that they experience. They will feel like, wow, this month has gone by in a flash. We're 5 days in. It feels like it just started. Well, it's going to continue to be like that. And because of that, sometimes we have more unpredictability, within the world's events. So you might see some type of update, or unfortunately some type of tragedy that will be out of the blue, because boom, the energy was waiting to explode, the energy was building up, unexpected outcome. So the news gets more traction, but also just how everyone's experiencing. It's like there's no time to really sit still. It's just someone will throw a plan at you. Okay, let's do it. All of a sudden, an opportunity comes up. Okay, do I even want to do this? This is really fast. And that's kind of the collective feeling, what kind of cycle the collective needs to experience. Because as individuals, we all have to go through the colors of life, the rainbow of life, of saying, now I'm a leader. Now I'm, just one of the crowd. Now I'm a teacher. Now I'm the student, and everything in between. Now I'm the aggressor. Now I'm the person who needs the help. Every single vibration that we are meant to experience, our cycles and the wheel of our life make sure that we can have that vibrational flavor. I'm just going to continue to say that. I'm repeating words a lot. Does that ever bother you? It bothers me if I repeat words. I'm like, My brain wanted to do something else, but here we go. I surrender. I surrender with what my brain wants to do. So we might be individually very strong in some categories, and that would showcase in our chart. But on certain days, months, and even years, we have to experience either the totality of becoming even more what we are, and we might feel really strong that year, or have like a lot of healing that year because we're just embodying that vibration. Oh, this is who I was meant to be. Yes, I'm figuring it out. Here I go. And then other years, wow, this is the opposite of who I am. I have to experience this and facets and facets in between. And of course, it highlights archetypes where why we're in this and what, and more specificity. So hello, Exato, I think I'm saying your name right. What a beautiful name. Iris, hello. Thank you for everybody coming. Hello. Oh, Jesse, you're a Pisces moon. Yes, I know a lot of Pisces moons. They're very emotional people, and all of a sudden they find themselves in a very like empathetic moment where their mind is like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why am I helping this person? Because you just can't help but feel, and your energy gets pulled in. You get pulled into the surf, the waves of the moment, the emotion. And so Pisces is a very unconscious and collective number where it's similar to the 9 at times. There's differences in numerology with astrology, but there's definitely crossovers. But it's similar to the life path 9 at times. They go, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, of course I'd want to help. Of course this is the right thing to do." Or they get sucked into the energy of someone else. And so Pisces moons have to be very careful of how they use their energy, because away they go with feeling others and experiencing others. But very emotional and usually very kind people. I'm checking a destination link really quick. Nexoctol, I think you asked, yes, how I was. I'm doing good. I had to take some extra time to pop on today because we're always looking to manage our energy and make sure we are balanced. And that's something that I very much am learning. Well, it won't let me broadcast on LinkedIn right now. It just is what it is. That's something I'm always learning because I find that, and maybe you find this too, if you give yourself some extra time to balance your energy, all of a sudden you're just at a completely different energetic space. So like if I came in 3 hours ago, which was the original goal, I would have been way more tired, way more rushed, way more scattered. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I am making sure that my energy comes first. And that's what we have to continue to do. And that's how we most effectively grow, because when we learn our lessons and we keep grounding and rooting, we're able to take those lessons all the way down through the entire energy of our body, rather than, oh my God, I made it. I did it today. Okay, I got this done. And it's like the energy cannot integrate properly. So you'll find yourself doing it again and doing it again. And you will get there. And it is fantastic. And we have to be in that energy sometimes of, okay, and here I go in little ways, but it just takes so much longer. And I'm making sure that I make space. And that's why I've been changing the time sometimes. Everybody forgive me for coming in on the Numerology Hour, whether this is the playback or whether you're watching it live. I'm just making sure for Sacred Spiral Network that I have the proper energy to help give everybody the resources they need, develop the shows because we have some new shows coming on in, and to continue to promote and grow the network. And so, yeah, sometimes I'm strategizing to help others and I go, whew, I have to reset for me. So you'll see me sometimes playing around with the times that I come in, but I will continue to try to give structure, whether I have a new time or whether I have the really certain normal time of the 1 p.m. So I'll be around. Hello, Jennifer. Hello. Hi, everybody coming on in. Hey, Desiree. Oh, it's great to see you. I haven't bumped into you in a while. It's great to see you, Desiree. Thank you so much for coming on in. And jumping back to what Jesse said, and you're like, I love how, again, it's funny, not always a dead ringer, but it's hilarious. If you find yourself having certain characteristics within numerology, it just like lands into astrology more often than not. And if you don't have a very obvious placement, there is something else within your chart. Like, let's say, like your moon sign is very, very important to who you are. But you might find some of your behaviors are because of your Mars or your Venus. And it would showcase itself because those are very influential planets with how you make the decisions that you make. So that is hilarious. Yeah, the Pisces and the Life Path 9 coming on in very similar vibrations with how they operate on some things, but not everything. So I love it. I'm trying to think, are there any crossovers for me that I just want to put out there and highlight? I think, I should have thought this before I started talking, honestly, but I should be in my analytical mind before I start talking about my individual chart. But off the top of my head, I have there you go. I have attitude 3 in my numerology, and our attitude numbers are very, very important in numerology. They're like our rising sign, but they involve even other parts of weather so influential. And so since I have very strong 3 energy in a certain placement, well, what's my most dominant house in astrology? It's the 3rd house. Shocker, right? And the 3rd house and the number 3 in numerology, they have a lot of similarities. Not dead ringers, but a lot of similarities. It is the vibration of communication, and it is the house of communication. It is the house of Gemini. It's the house of language. It's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And modern day numerology was based on some astrology themes, but also psychology, because they were trying to understand the archetypes and create new systems. So there will always be new systems. That's why I'm a big fan of saying there's no one way to do numerology. There's no one way to do astrology. There's different systems for different reasons, and just use whatever you resonate with as long as you're accurate. If you're not accurate and you're just playing around with the system because you studied it, that's not a good idea. But if you find that you're accurate and you find consistency and you find symbology and it helps you really, really access your truth and other people's truths, slam dunk, lightning bolt, yes. Hello. Hey, Michael Christopher. Michael is going to be on doing readings with me later this weekend. So we're going to be popping on for the psychic hour and doing some mediumship and psychic work. So, hey, Michael, it's great to see you. That will be on an unconventional Saturday. And that was kind of with my intro, I'm like, hey, kind of whatever goes. Sometimes I will mostly stick to schedule though. But Saturday is one of those days where we're going to pop in and give love. And that's what works for me. That's what works for everybody. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then Desiree says, shoot, I forgot what my number is. I believe you're in attitude 2. You might be a life path 9, Desiree, but I remember you're in attitude 2. And Jesse, my whole chart is mostly Scorpio. I've had 5 planets in Scorpio and a stellium in the 11th house, all Scorpio. Oh, goodness. I don't know which planets, but when we have a lot of planets in the 11th house, that calls us sometimes to be a leader among groups, our friends, or organizations. The 11th house is friends and others. So if we have a lot of energy, then that means we know how to sometimes lead others, work with others. However it is, it's doing something for others. So sometimes people feel karma within that before they get onto their path. So they might feel isolated because they have to learn to deal with so much energy in the 11th house. And they're like, I don't know how to navigate this. I've had backlash. Because people understand that you have things to do and you want to help them. And so if you haven't embodied that, that confidence or embodied the knowing, people will be like, well, why are you so all up in my energy? And it's because you have a stellium in the 11th house. And that's a big stellium, a 5 planet stellium. So a stellium, for everyone wondering what that is, it's like 3 or more planets in a house. And that is very influential. It very much is with how we use our energy. So Jesse is very Scorpio. And then you have that Pisces moon. So you're very, very emotional, intuitive, very sensitive. And you have to be careful about how you manage your energy so that you can show up for people and be the person you want to be and be within your own energy. And so that will be a lifelong understanding with all the Scorpio energy you have and your Pisces moon. And those are all the things that I just know with what you've told me. So I would obviously know more depending on where I would see more planets and understand more planets to be and how they sit and everything. But yeah, that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy. Scorpio is very intense energy. And so it's very much I'm all in or I'm done. So very effective people with change, very, very self-sacrificing, very I put my all into you, and you'll really, really be fighting for others, fighting for a cause if you find the right one. Or no, thank you. I'm gonna do my own thing. Y'all are crazy. Why would I want to help you? You know, I'm not doing this. Peace out. I'm gonna go do my own thing. So Scorpio is very all or nothing, and so you have to find what you believe in, and you have to put yourself out there when the time is right, because the 11th house is all about others, and you can't activate your 11th house or yeah, I'm just going to say it like that. It's very, very difficult to feel alive with so much 11th house. I can't talk right now. 11th house energy, if you are isolated. And so you're very black and white. Yeah, there's a lot of rules with that energy, a lot of black and whites. That makes sense. And so Desiree, so are you life path 2, attitude 2? Desiree, what are your what's your birth date? Because you have a 9 somewhere. I know you have a 9 somewhere, but you're an attitude 2, and then so you're a life path 2. And then let's see, that's very much me, Jesse. You said very isolated at the moment, but I'm building my confidence at the moment. So true. Yes, yes. And so I don't know where everything is. Jesse, do you know where your midheaven is? Have you looked at your chart? Do you know where your midheaven is? If not, don't worry. But with all that Scorpio energy, people who have a lot of Scorpio energy are healers or involved with mediumship. There's other careers, but it's a very Scorpio is very ideal with heavy energy, and I like it. They have, there's the black and white. Sometimes they don't like it, but when they show up and they're ready, they really really like it. They don't want something surface. They never want something surface. They just need a break, and they get fed up sometimes. But they never want something surface. They want to be all in. They want to really help and change, and they want to be in it. And a lot of people into spirituality, whether they do it within their life in conjunction with other things or that's like their career, they have some influential Scorpio. Not always, but a lot of them do, or their eighth house is quite active. So which is the house of Scorpio. Okay. You're talking about, it's Libra. So got it. Okay, so your MC, so that would be your 10th house, Jesse. Point in your 10th house. Well, yes, that is in Libra. Okay, so then opposite of, okay, got it. So yeah, this explains why you're kind of doing your own thing, because you're learning about how to be in Libra energy, and Libra energy is very put together, very careful, very diplomatic. And so when you find more footing within your life, you're going to show up and be quite professional, quite responsible, and you're really going to look out for people because you feel like it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do, but you actually have a tremendous responsibility to yourself with how much that looks like to you. It almost looks picture perfect at times to you, and you kind of can't wrap your head around it. You're like, why do I put so much pressure on myself? And it's because Libra is wanting to come in very presentable, very fair, very much about the other person or how people experience things. So this is another reason of why maybe you're kicking up your isolation, because you're like, it's not really working for me in the situations that I'm putting myself in. I don't think I'm strong enough to actually lead or make sure that people are in line that the way that I think they should be in line with how I'm going to come in and how I would want to have a certain career, or I'd want to have a certain just environment, my standards. So what I'm saying is very high standards. Continue to cultivate that. Be very gentle on yourself. You will be where you need to be. And it's just like you're sculpting yourself. You're sculpting yourself, and like Rome wasn't built in a day. And that's what I feel like. I feel like, Jesse, you're a little bit rougher on the edges, and you give yourself a hard time for it. And like you expect a lot of others too at the same time, but you're like, I want to be the example. I want to be the example, and I haven't figured out how to be the example yet. So there's a lot of this energy wrapped up within that, and just, anything that you do with good intention, you are the example for. It doesn't matter if it looks a certain way, if it comes off a certain way. Like sometimes I show up and I 100% have my heart in it, but maybe I don't have the best sleep, so I'm stuttering like over my words, or I'll have to repeat a word or something, and I don't worry about, sure, I'm just like, oh gosh, but I don't worry about that because I know my heart's in the right place, right? Or sometimes I'll come in and I'll be like very frazzled, but I'll show up, I'll be like, let's do the psychic hour. And I'll change with, how I'm living my life and working within my life, and I'll make space for myself. In fact, that's what we talked about in the beginning of the show. But it's like, we can't worry about that, because the most important part is if your heart's in the right place, and the rest will fall into line, and the rest will fall into line. Okay. So that's what I really feel like. Don't worry about if anything's rough around the edges or not right. if your heart's in the right place, the rest will fall into line. Okay, so let's see. Great to see you, Desiree. Take care. Okay. Iris, you said that's totally Jessie. It's mine. Cool. I like how you understand, Iris. That's cool. I knew that there's a connection, but I didn't know that you were brother and sister. That's so cool. That's super cool. I love it. Thank you for giving some sibling love up in here. Wow, I love it. I love when families are on. Good evening, Courtney. Hello, hello. Girl, you sent me a message. I have to go and get to it. I've been juggling. Forgive me. I'll look at that message. And hello, Sunshine Girl. Hello. Charmaine. Okay, everybody, we're going into readings. Unless you have a numerology question, we were talking a little bit about astrology and correlation. So if you want to talk a little bit astrology, I welcome that too. We're opening up the space for readings. And thank you for understanding, Jessie. Let's say it feels like we're going into a full moon, but we haven't even had our new moon yet. Energies are changing. And I do feel like from April, May into June, it was like the year finally started kicking up because the energy was super, super heavy. The energy was very, very draggy and heavy, and people are feeling refreshed or better or clear again. I feel largely, so it's almost like the new energy is stabilizing. And maybe that's connected to that. I don't know, but yes, I do feel like there's a different energy now that we're building up to June. Okay, and I talked about earlier how we're in a World 5 month, and that is the energy moving right along. Okay, you're gonna feel that whoosh in the activity, and you're gonna feel like you want to get outside of the house, or you're more just comfortable getting out and doing things rather than feeling so like heavy and burdened or tired. You're not gonna feel tired the same way, and if you are, all of a sudden little gusts of energy. Okay, so all right, let's go into numerology. So I'm going to go to Iris and Charmaine and Tina, and then whoever wants to pop down your numbers, I'm going to go to you. So if you put down your birth date, that lets me know that you are open to having a reading and that you consent. And if I pick you, please let me know that you're still in the house. If you have popped off, I might say a little something and move on to the next person. But if you are in the house with me, I will stick with your energy, and I will either answer a question or just give you a general reading. And that's how we do it. Okay. So, Sunshine Girl's asking a question. I said I'd take one before I went to readings. What can you say about certain numbers at our birth? I found certain numbers on my birth certificate, and just wondering what you think about things like that. Great question. I truly believe and see evidence of that certain numbers follow us. Certain numbers absolutely follow us. And sometimes we develop like a certain lucky number, and then you think about when you break that number down, what is that? A lot of times it's because it's one of the main numbers in your chart. And other times we don't know why a number follows us. But then again, we look at the dominant chart numbers, and lo and behold, like our numbers can change based on our name. So if you take on a new name, last or first, that can kick up new energy. So you would have a new number following you if it's dominant. But what I wanted to say is like 8s follow me around a lot. 8s and 9s and 2s. Those are my main numbers that follow me around. But the 8s and the 9s, definitely, especially the number 8. And so I will find that if I get a parking spot, or let's say I order something with a tracking number, a lot of times it reduces to 8s. Or if I'm given something, it will have like an 8 attached to it. So it could be the longest number ever. It could be like a 3, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what I mean? It could be like a 16-digit number, but then it's an 8. or it could be a 1-digit number, just 8, or a 3-digit number, but like, an 899, I'm gonna do, or an 845, right? That's an 8 vibration. Um, and it finds us. Like for Eric, my husband, he has some very influential 3s within his chart. Well, the 3s follow him, like before, before we got married and stuff like that. He would have like apartments, and I've seen like his old apartment numbers and stuff, and it's not like he chose it or thought about it, but he would have a 3 apartments, or he would have a parking spot, again, 3. And it's just like, these are randomly assigned to us. It's not because we're choosing. And sometimes when we choose, we're going to have an inclination. I would be more privy to choosing an 8 and 9 because I feel comfortable with that vibration. And he loves the number 3. So it all wraps up and goes hand in hand. Absolutely. We have a favorite color, and there's certain colors that make us feel good. Same with numbers. And I hope that helped answer that. Okay. So Isabel. All right. So is there a question attached to this that you would like me to look at, Iris? Do you have a specific question? If not, I'm just going to do general. And so let me know if you're still here. I'm just seeing whoever is present. Okay, and is this you? I'm just making sure. Is this you, right? Because sometimes we have different names. Just making sure this is you. Just let me know if it's somebody else, because I'm going to start reading it like it's you. Okay. Just let me know if this is you, though, because I'll be aware to look at someone else's energy if it's not. I just ask if the names don't correlate 100%, just to make sure. Yeah, okay. I appreciate it. I figured. I just want to be extra sure before I start going to, this is you, this is you. Okay, so you attitude 6, personal day 3, and then life path 3. Okay, yep. Cycle. You're in a cycle of 5. Yes, you are. Okay, so I might touch on things. I don't know if we've done I know we've done your numbers, but I don't know how much, in what way we've done your numbers. But so you can let me know if there's certain, again, things that you want more looked at. But you're in a cycle of 5. So this always causes us, especially around fall, to take on something that transforms us. And if we don't, something will choose us. A situation, an issue. It could be good or bad, but 5 makes sure that we change within the year. So it will call us to change or make us feel highly uncomfortable, like we're bored, we're restless, or we just feel like not quite ourselves and we need to go and do something different. Okay? So I encourage you to follow that calling. And a lot of times it is something very about what can we be, what can we do. So this deals a lot of times with work, or deals with a hobby that develops ourselves to the next part of what we need to become, whether we, let's say, change our job 2 years later, or we activate this part of us and this is our identity, and work's just money. Okay, so there has to be some type of skill that you cultivate and you say, now I'm doing this, or you buck up and you say, I'm doing a completely different U-turn with how I make my money. And so we have different flexibility at different times within our lives. Okay, but I encourage you to start investing your time and resources into something that is more truly like yourself, rather than, well, this is cool, I like this. No, this is you. That's why you like this. Awesome. Saying totally resonates. I always do things instead. I always do things for others instead of myself. And that makes sense because you have an attitude 6. And so an attitude 6 very much looks after the pack. It's a family number. An attitude 6 is basically, how can I just provide for you, and how can I be good to you because I want to make sure that everybody is happy, or I want to make sure that we are all coming together and we're on the same page. And sometimes 6s can make too many sacrifices to make sure everyone's happy, healthy, and on the same page. It's very much a group mentality number. It's very much a pack mentality number. And so the beautiful thing is there's unity when it's healthy. And when it's not healthy, whether we're in an environment that's not healthy or we are allowing ourselves to do things that are not healthy, we lose our identity, we lose our energy, we lose our spirit, because we put ourselves into environments where people don't say thank you and understand our value and understand what we bring to the table. Because the 6, especially in this placement, is most happy when everyone is thriving and bringing something of who they are to the table. And then it becomes, wow, this group is diverse. Wow, even though we're so different, we all eat at the same table. Wow, we all look after each other. We all have each other's back. Like we are strong. We are a force to be contended with. And so if you don't let people within the pack or the family go out, they could still be supported, but go out and find themselves and take on new identities. What happens is the pack and the family, it doesn't grow. It doesn't grow, because that's what life needs to be. In order for it to be healthy, it needs to grow, it needs to move, it needs to change. And so we are what we are. We are what we are, and people actually know these things. They will disrespect us if we're different, and they'll disrespect us if we are the same, because they will feel like our energy isn't growing. They either won't appreciate the contribution because we're so different, and so we need to continue to change and become stronger, until they go, whoa, you were doing that. I didn't see that. I didn't understand that. Whoa, that's in your back pocket. Okay, I can understand why, things were a little bit different. Or let's say they expect certain things of you and everybody wants to be on the same page. And so they give you, let's say, pushback when you're doing different things, or not support. What happens is they still won't have the energy of respecting, because they will be like, wow, your energy is tired. Your energy is, you look run down. You don't look like you can take the load. And it's because you're fighting yourself. It's because you're fighting yourself, and it feels unnatural, and people will be like, the energy doesn't feel good, and the energy doesn't feel good. So you'll get disrespected and misunderstood, whether you're doing the work or whether you're appeasing the people, whether you're being yourself or you're appeasing the people. And so the answer is always be yourself. The answer is you're going to be uncomfortable either way. Either way. Either way. And the beauty is you won't be uncomfortable once you reach the summit, or you push yourself with being yourself to a certain level. And so people find you that are like you, or people who are different go, wow, you accomplished that. Okay. Like I said, okay. And they give you space. They don't understand you always, but they give you space. Or sometimes they welcome you with open arms and they say, I want that too. How did you do that? I want that too. Okay. And so you're going through dark night of the soul. I don't know. I'm in doubt what kind of healing I should do, what I should be doing. Anything authentic you should be doing. Doesn't matter if it's traditional. Doesn't matter if there's a certain way to heal or to get through dark night of the soul. There's no one right way. It's if you feel like you need to be in touch with your emotions and people around you are not providing that, or not able to listen to you, then you get around people who are able to listen to your emotions. You get into environments And there's tons of free circles with psychic mediumship. There's tons of free experiences, but you get yourself into a place where people talk about that all the time and want to talk about that. So anything you can't talk about, you put yourself into an environment where that's what's going on there. So you have what you're quelling. And healing will move energy, and it will open up things, and it will make you feel better. But if you're not doing what you need to be doing, it doesn't matter how much healing that we give ourselves, we're not going to feel like something's right. And we're going to always need the healing. Like, I need this again. I need this again. Well, if we are within what feels good for us and natural to us, what happens is we even out. And the healing does help. It's just we don't need as much healing because we're giving ourselves the healing with transforming. Okay. So yes, I'm totally going through it with my family. They don't want me to be on this path within spirituality. I mean, there's a lot of fear. Like, I feel like there's a mixture of some people are tied to the religious part, and other people, they don't. It's like, it's very interesting. I don't know if you can understand this, Iris, but I feel like some people in the family are very religious, and some people aren't religious at all. They just accept that maybe they're like, maybe it's like Catholic or Christianity, but they accept they have that title, and they're like, that means nothing to me. Like, that's just like something the family does. And what you're doing, like, it sounds ridiculous. So it's like two opposite ends of the spectrum. People who have the rules are like, these are the rules. And people who don't really have any rules, they're like, that why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's not even a thing. So I feel like there's a lot of misunderstandings. That's really cool that Jesse is on board, though, because he's a family member. He's on board with understanding that this stuff within spirituality and consciousness and mediumship and energy and psychic, that it's real. That's pretty amazing. Like, not usually do people incarnate into situations where they always have a sibling that can have conversations with them on that level. Okay, so the space that has been given with my best friends, I don't know what to do at this moment. If just letting a 30-year relationship, she doesn't accept my spirituality. Yes, I've been there. That's hard. Yes, the only one that supports me is my brother, Jesse. Yes, we're on this path together, which is amazing. At least there is that saving grace. So there's a philosophy, truly, that, we are free souls. We are free souls, and we can't make anyone do anything. Like, we can't. Yes, on earth there's things that you can enforce and manipulate and coerce, sure, but like spiritually, with what we truly are on the inside, you can't change somebody's path. You can't change somebody's hearts. You can't change someone's longing within them of what they believe is right, what they feel within their heart of hearts is right. And if someone needs to be on the path of spirituality, they're going to be on the path of spirituality. And if someone doesn't understand it, they're not going to understand it. That's their path. And we're all supposed to come into this understanding, this awakening, or certain experiences within our own time. So even though it's hurtful, and you can give distance sometimes to the situation by not even talking about spirituality, even though that'd be very hard because that's just life, you have to just let people understand what they can understand. And you gotta let people just be how they're gonna be. And the more that you're in your truth, the more that either they will let go or you will let go. And when we let go, people go and respond to that new vibration of us going, I'm letting go. Some people go, all right, we got to talk. Let's be real. Let's be serious. I don't want you to go. And other people will let go without the resistance, without the pain of holding on, without the uncertainty of what's going to happen, So I say this, like Iris, don't be afraid to let go, because we can't hold on to anything. We can't hold on, just like we can't hold on to the belief that, or the hope that someone else is going to understand who we are if they are not in the place to understand us. And I truly believe on the other side, we will always be able to have a conversation with our loved ones, always able to talk about any experience. But on earth, when we are limited, and on earth, when we are supposed to walk certain paths, sometimes we have to let go with the people around us and go, I have to be myself. And I promise you there'll be an understanding when you do that. Not that it's going to be an easy one, but I'd rather you walk into your certainty and understanding rather than your frustration and not being sure what to do. So you know what you want. Continue to walk that path and watch yourself feeling better. Watch yourself being more confident. Watch yourself being more assertive, because that's where your energy has to be. And your energy just goes, yep, this is what we're supposed to be doing. I like this. And anytime, the last thing I'm going to say, anytime we're doing that for ourselves, anytime we're more confident, assertive, with inner energy, being truly ourselves, what happens is anything that you say to another person, any type of energy that you merge with another person, it's going to be from a higher vista. It's going to be from a empowering place of clarity. It's going to be anything that you said when you're not being yourself is not going to compare to you in your power and being yourself. And you will have peace with how you handle people and how people come to you, because you'll go, I'm so clear right now. Okay, let's do this. And I know that what I'm saying I'm doing, this is right by me because I'm in such a good place. And then wherever the chips lie, they lie. And of course, you're going to have to heal. And of course, it's going to be hard. And of course, it's the human experience. But anything that you deal with will be far easier when you're clear than when you're unclear, because people are putting pressure on you or making you feel scattered and unsure and guilty or shameful, or like you have to pay loyalties to. So, yeah, I'm going to give you that message. It was a lot. It's a lot, but I feel like it was important to talk about this. And your numbers are all about people, Iris. So it's going to really hurt when certain connections don't hit, especially if you have a very, very strong soul connection to the person. But you're meant to be around people. That means you have to be around more people. That means you have to be helping people. And that means you have to be extroverting your energy and getting out and about and activating who you are. Don't let people cloud the way that you want to be out in the world and be yourself. Okay. She said, actually, I did that with my friend. I don't talk about spiritual anymore. She's still on it, so I'm still letting go. Exactly. Yeah, like distance will help, but it will highlight what's really going on. It just gives space to what's really going on. Absolutely. And I'm actually, yeah, absolutely. Hello, Trish. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. Absolutely. Like, I really feel it's not an easy time. It's not an easy time. But there's a lot of good change. So please invest with your time, energy, and resources to what you're becoming and transform. Transform. Like, you can't run from it. It's going to happen. So might as well enjoy it. That's what I'm going to say. Might as well enjoy it, Iris. Have some fun. Okay. I love this. It's not up to anyone to accept you, accept yourself. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's really a hard one. I mean, I had a really close friend growing up, like sister, extension of family, and she was very religious, and I grew up like very accepting of religion, very, very into understanding what religion was. And I was religious myself, but I was very open-minded, but I was like, okay, let me understand the rules. Sure. So I understood the concept of understanding the limits and the boundaries of things. And I was always willing to go, okay, let's understand from your perspective. Please understand from mine. And I feel like a lot of times people can't even meet you there. And that's a huge problem. If you're having a spiritual discussion or religious discussion, all highly personal things within what our soul is about and what even psychic and mediumship is about to us. If someone won't even talk about things because they're like, no, I don't know, don't believe in that, don't see it that way, don't see it that way. What can you do? What can you do? You can't build relationships with people who don't even want to talk to you. You can't. It's really sad, but you can't. And years later, like 10 years later, something like that, in that ballpark, like 8-10 years later, I did have a reconnection where she still believes the things that she believes, but she was much more accepting for different life events because of that. So all we can be is authentic. And if someone really, really does love you, you will have an understanding of why that had to happen, and you will give peace to it in one way or another. I just hope it's a more positive experience than not. Okay, so let's see. Tina and Shar. Where are you, Shar? Charmaine. So Charmaine or Tina, are you still in the house? Tina or Charmaine, are you still in the house? I know I wanted to go to you too. Let me know if you're still in the house. Tina or Charmaine. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, I'm going to go to Tina and then Charmaine. And so, Tina, okay. All right, so Tina, attitude 8 and personal day 8 and life path 4. Okay, and then you are in a cycle of 7, is that right? That is right. Okay, so just double checking everything. That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. Okay, so Tina, you have a slower going year this year. And I like to tell people that sometimes because there are certain years that are fast and there are certain years that are slow for all different reasons. Now, the month of we're collectively in a 5, so the 5 will actually amp up what's going to happen. So this will be actually one of your more busier months within a slow year. So I'm going to put the context like that. I hope that makes sense. And it's really involved with understanding what you want to do, about things within your life. We talked a little bit about that with Iris just a moment ago, and that comes up in your chart too, because both of you two are in cycles that are very cerebral, where it forces you to go, what do I really think about this? What do I really want to do about these things? And it's not the time to act. It's the time to go, who am I really becoming? And what do I want to do about that? When I am ready to act, I must have a very clear plan about that. So, all right. A cycle 7, like you're in, Tina, it forces certain things to not happen. It forces plans to break. It forces you to be in a mode where things are not as busy because you have to do the hard thinking, the in-depth feeling, and you have to be in your own energy, allowing yourself to experience these things without looking away. So it makes sure that your energy is not taxed the same way and your schedule is not stacked the same way. So embrace that. Embrace that. You have an 8, 2 8s, and a 4. So this means that your approach to life in general should never be, I'd have to look at your full chart, but this is very influential. But your approach to life should never be like jumping on things. It should be a more balanced approach. You have numbers where it is good for you always to look at the details, understand things, read, mull it over. Okay, so that's what's happening on a spiritual level this year, but in general, with anything that you do, even if it's like the smallest thing, it never hurts for you to go, let me think on that, because it bodes well for you, and you will catch the things that people most often won't catch, like, oh, like, how did you notice that? Right? Oh, I read the fine print. Or I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I didn't either. I just had to think about it for a second. So energy and how we utilize it and how we're successful, it shines based on our numbers. And you have very like stable, consistent planning numbers. You also have a number that would showcase that you have to be in some type of work that allows you to exercise authority. Okay? You're a hard worker, but you have to be recognized for what you bring to the table. And if you don't have that within your life, and if you like, a lot of times it's important to talk about environments. And a lot of people are not in the right environment. If you're not in an environment where someone puts trust within you and faith within you to say, okay, you've demonstrated that you are of this level, let me hand you the next level, the next role, or let me give you some management, or let me like give you autonomy so you can show people because you do a good job. If you don't have somebody supporting you and the fact that you are somebody who catches the details and does things well and wants to do things well, you got to leave. You got to leave, because in these placements, your energy will build up resentment because you have the goods and somebody has to let you operate from the excellence place. Okay? So be with people who acknowledge and comment and see how perceptive you are, how sharp you are. And those are your people. Those are your people. And that's where you want to be working, and not feeling like because of that you're going to get burnt out. You will save yourself from being burnt out and going through the grind. Get into some responsibility placement within your work, because you are so sharp that your energy wants to utilize the extra responsibility. So I'm going to say it to you like that. This is just a general reading, Tina going over what highlights who you are, how you'll have success, and how your energy works. If you have a question on that, great. But I hope that made sense, Tina. Okay, I like this. You're next, Charmaine. I like the yes and the you. It's like, yeehaw, let's go. Okay, Charmaine. Let me pull up. You were up top. Let me go. All right, Charmaine. 617. And let's see, would love some insight as big changes happening. Absolutely, Charmaine. Okay, so you're an attitude 5. You are personal day 8. You are a life path 6, I believe. Yep, that's right. And then you are in a cycle of 4. Okay, and just to kind of clarify that, Okay, so this month, so you're in a cycle, you're in a yearly cycle of 4, but this month you are in a 1. Excuse me. This is why I double check everything. You're in a 9. Da, 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 da. No, you're in a 1. See, my brain is spastic. Oh my goodness. This is why we sometimes have to breathe. And I feel like this is a psychic hit on something that you experience too, because you're in attitude 5. And so sometimes attitude 5s are, I'm over here, I'm over that, oh, I'm over there. Okay, just breathe. Take a moment, take a moment, take a moment, and allow yourself to recharge so you're not putting another thing on your back to stress you out. Okay? Allow yourself to just take a breather when the big changes are coming, not like, okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? Okay, so you are in a monthly cycle of 1, like I said, and this is a great time to really feel like, okay, the change is happening. I'm in a good place. Let's do it. So things are truly about to explode, because your intention is lined up and the energy is allowing you to get what you need to get done. So this is very, very good. This is very, very favorable. Last month, no, we're wrapping things up to be ready for this month. So I want to give you validation within that. And hello, Cheyenne. Hello. And you're in a place within the year where this is about how you are changing your everyday life. Changing your everyday life and how you approach things to prep for more change. So the thing that you said big changes are, this is like reverberating like for years to come, this big change. Okay? This is like I feel like huge changes in the next 3 years. And then like even just more like, okay, we're here, we're here. And so this is very much business, and also very much like it will affect the way that you commute and how you do things with others. Most importantly, while you're doing this, is do the research. Do the research because it's a building year. We have boom years of, okay, and here we go. And then we have building years. And so you're in the cycle of 4. And so that's a little bit of halfway of each, because the 4 is saying we're ready to go. Now we have to put some of these foundations in place. And okay, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. So I really feel like next year is your big year. Your big year that allows you to boom and to explode for the next couple of years. And so you will have changes, but don't be alarmed if you feel like, oh, I thought it would hit out. I thought it would hit. I got my sign. I thought we'd be doing this by now. I thought we'd be landing that. I thought I'd be partnered with this person. I thought I'd be going here and there, because I feel like this pursuit doesn't just have to do with you and your timelines. So be patient and understand that things are coming, and that this is a very good month for you to reassure that and reaffirm that. It's just when we get into next month, like that's going to be good. It's going to be much more emotional, but you're going to have people like showing up to continue to get things to the next phase. And then when we really enter August for you, okay, when we enter August for you, that is going to be more change in the positive, great direction. So I think you're on an upswing. It's great, but know that we don't have quite the big booms. It's a lot of baby steps, even though that does equal change. A lot of baby steps equals change. Okay, so just keep it moving, keep it going. And they're like telling me for you to have like a creative outlet during this time. And like I talked about the breathing earlier, but I really feel like colors and allowing your energy to to just be and move and shift, because there's a lot of concentrated energy going on. Like, okay, we're doing this, we're locked in, we're loaded, we're doing this. And it's just like, you need to put your energy on some other things, because not everything's ready 100%. It's getting there. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Yes, okay, good. I'm glad it makes sense. I'm glad it makes sense. Good. So just keep doing what you're doing. It's on the upswing. And there's going to be some moments where you're going to be like, whoa, what's going on? It's still on the upswing, just baby steps. Okay, be patient. All right, so everybody, it is that time where I'm popping off. I'll give a couple people, this is the numerology hour, but I'll pull a couple cards from people before I leave, because I like to get some love out to people. So Dana, you got the growing forest card. So this is about deepening your roots and putting some healing into your life with food, being better with food, and how you tend to yourself with every day to strengthen your energy, and allowing yourself to have good foundations in the way of how your body and health is. And since you're going to have more energy, you're going to be more flexible with understanding, okay, I have this option now, not when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? So this is for Dana. Like bamboo, you're going to figure out how to be flexible. You just have to be good to yourself, and your energy will be in a better place to do something different. Okay. Sarah, I'm going to pull one for you, and Arlene, I'm going to pull one for you. Sarah, I'm just going to pull a card, girl, because I'm on my way out. Oh, I love this card. This is the trusting yourself. This is the trusting yourself. And I like this card because it looks so empty, but then you have something so magical as a lotus right here. So it reminds you that even though you feel like there's nothing really going on and you want the energy to be different, because you're like, come on, is there a sign? I've been kind of wanting to do this. It's kind of a womp, womp, womp. I'm not there yet. You have the seed planted, and you've had the experiences where you actually have what you need to get to the next step. You have to trust, and you have to remember that you've been shown and you have received that gift that you're looking for. So even if it's not all the things that you've been thinking of, you have one gift that can help bring you to the next part. Please use it. Please remember it. Okay. And then Arlene, I'm going to pull one for you. Okay, the physical energy card. This is all about balancing your physical energy, making sure that, especially for mediumship and intuitive work, that we are taking care of ourselves. So when we use our physical bodies as a tool and as spirit to bring forth information, we are in a place where we understand and can fully feel through the human vehicle that is our body. In order to do that, our body needs to be healthy. In order to hear deeper, sometimes, our brain needs to be not so stressed. In order to concentrate, our mind needs to be at peace. And in order to have that, it's good nutrition, good sleep, and not running ourselves so dry. So this is about how your energy is moving in a different way now, and it's actually way healthier, and it's been making you feel way better because you are doing things for your life and creating, and things are moving. But this is a reminder that things can be imbalanced for only so long if we're not taking care of our physical energy, because we are the vehicle that spirit uses, whether in a reading or whether within our physical body moving around to get something done from point A to point B. If we're not taking care of ourselves, things will get wonky or won't get done. Okay, so your physical energy is doing better. but watch out and take care of yourself. This is your warning from Spirit, and your love from Spirit, and your pat on the back from Spirit. Okay? So I give you love within that. I'm glad you understand that. And hello. Yeah, sure. Last one. This is a double message for you. So, and this is about tending to, because I pulled the same card. I just shuffled it too. This is no accident, and it's about making sure that you're taking care of your physical body to get everything done. And I feel like connected to you, there's this aspect of schooling or growing who you are, and we don't have enough time and space to integrate if our body is not well. So continue to get your body stronger. I feel like you've already been doing that. This is a placement acknowledging that we've been trying to do that, but it's so important. So thank you, everybody. You'll see me this week for the Psychic Hour. I'm going to be doing readings with Michael Christopher, Psychic Mediumship readings. So you can come in on there. Thank you for joining with me for the Numerology Hour. And it's really whatever feels natural. That's how I pop in. So we're going to be having some wonderful guests coming up. So I will be having the Psychic Hour and the interviews back on in full force this month. One that we have coming up, besides awesome Michael Christopher, is Carrie Steadfast. She is a UK medium, mainly a platform medium. So I'm very excited to have her from across the pond. And away we go. As the month goes, you'll hear the next, and you'll hear the next. So stay tuned. Please, everyone, go with love, luck, light, and don't forget to live. See you in a couple days. Bye.